Whoo-wee! And the Kings win 123-115. Welcome to the post-game show here on the Basketball Zone YouTube channel. I'm your host, Leo Beas, and you're going to hear a lot of my son because my son wants to hang out with me. But I'm going to do this podcast tonight. We're going to talk about the game. He says he wants daddy. Wow. The Kings had this game under control for the majority of the night. And there were a lot of games that were blowouts. And I've always said that teams tend to lose focus when they're up by so much. And then the referees have a lot to do with it too, because then they'll be calling some pretty dumb things, right? And it just seemed that way today. Although we can talk about how bad and some of the breakdowns defensively, make no mistake about it. But at the end of the day, the NBA wants to keep games close. The Kings still covered the spread. The sorry-ass Lakers didn't. They're completely garbage. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. I mean, if you can't beat a third-grade team or a Sac State intramural team like the Raptors, then I'm sorry, man. That's crazy to me. Wow. Kings, though, they improved to 3-2. 123-115. Huge shout-out to Pampa's Brazilian Steakhouse. The best Brazilian steakhouse in all of Sacramento. It's literally right across the cathedral in downtown Sacramento. Make sure you guys check them out. This month, they're rolling out the $44 for 11 cuts. All you can eat. That is an amazing deal. It comes with the market table, which is the big salad bar. And you get an amazing bar and amazing cocktails to go with the experience. We're going to have one of the most famous local jazz players, November 15th. So make sure you make reservations for that. And we're still trying to get some Brazilian samba dancers like we did last month. So huge shout out to Pampa's Brazilian Steakhouse. Wow. The Kings, 123-115. A lot of positives. The offense is just so fun to watch. Their box office, the way they move the ball, the weak side action, the way they scream for each other, the way they shoot the hell out of the basketball. Now the added dimension with the guy like DeMar DeRozan. It's just so fun to watch. For all the people who appreciate basketball as a whole, you have to appreciate the way the Kings play offense. Now defense, they still got a lot to work on, but that's part of the progression that they have to make throughout a season, right? You're not going to get that consistency on both ends of the floor on November 1st, 5 games into the season. That's asking for the impossible. It's going to take some time. They've shown signs already of being a solid defensive team. I'll say that, right? Where they'll get timely stops, timely steals, timely blocks, stuff like that. Keon Ellis comes into the game. DeMar DeRozan has surprisingly been pretty solid defensively for the most part. He's been solid in the post. He's gone into the passing lanes. He's gotten a few blocks. Like, DeMar is better than expected, right? Especially at the age of 35. So shout out to DeMar DeRozan, just a complete maestro in the mid-range. What a game, man. Scott Foster, man. You know that guy's always trying to keep games close. I'm just saying. Kings should have been blowout. It seemed like that to me too. Kings locking on offense though. There's an adjustment period, man. There's an adjustment period. Let's go over some of the stats from today. Domantas Sabonis was just a beast on the boards. 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 15 points. Almost another triple-double for Sabonis. But we'll take a double-double king of the NBA. He was powerful. He took advantage of the... I mean, technically, they're a little bit bigger than the Kings are, but he's just a man amongst boys, and he controlled Capella. He controlled Okongwu, although they had good box score numbers, but you knew that he was a superior player, the superior talent against those two guys. So Sabonis, good nod. I'm liking the aggressiveness all season long. DeMar DeRozan, 27 points tonight, 9 of 16 from the field, 8 of 10 from the free throw line. He missed his first 2 free throws, which was crazy. You're like, damn, like the Kings curse is real. But then he kind of broke that, and that was nice to see, right? He had 8 rebounds, 27 points, 3 steals, 2 assists, 1 block, a little bit of everything. The guy was amazing tonight. He's amazing on most nights. And I was watching the Hawks broadcast, right? They really, really had high praise for DeMar. A lot of the reasons probably because they've seen him play a lot the last few years in Chicago, and the Hawks see them a lot, right, in conference play matchups. They had a lot of good things to say about DeMar, and I just feel like the Kings are starting to get some of that recognition because they got a guy, they were able to land a guy like DeMar DeRozan who has that cachet with a lot of other teams and other executives and broadcast members and all these people. Like, he's well respected throughout the league, and that's good for the Kings. That's good for the Kings, and I love to see it. Keegan Murray tonight, again, 3 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds, 10 rebounds. The guy is doing other things to impact the game. He was 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. It doesn't matter. He had 14 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. Just a monster game. Huge impact for Keegan Murray. I love what I saw from him tonight. He was 50% from the field, 6 of 12. You got to love that as well. And De'Aaron Fox, best player on the team, 11 of 16 from the field, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, 31 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. Holy cow, De'Aaron Fox, player of the game, best player on the team. This guy is a monster. He loves to play against Trae Young, right? Who had 25 points respectively, 8 of 21 though, so not that good. He was a minus 11 for the game, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 3 of 9 from beyond the arc. On the contrary, De'Aaron Fox was a plus 21 for the game. That is true impact, true leadership, and that is solidifying who the better point guard is. De'Aaron Fox. Kings win 123-115. I thought, for the most part, Kevin Huerter had good moments today, right? 10 points, 2 away from beyond the arc. He brought the spacing. He had 4 assists. I didn't hate the game from him. Like, I thought he was solid for the most part, right? It wasn't his best game of the season, but he was solid. On the contrary, Keon Ellis was exceptional. 12 points in 19 minutes, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 assists, 1 rebound, 1 block. You know he's going to get one of those once a game at least because he's that good defensively. I love what I saw from Keon Ellis today. He's continuing to put the pressure on Kevin, and that's creating this healthy competitive spirit, right? Both of them pushing each other, one for the other. I liked it. 19 and 24 minutes respectively. I liked the balance today. It is what it is. Great game by Keon Ellis. Solid game from Kevin. I'm not going to bash him. Like, he was a minus 10 for the game, but I just feel like he did other things at the box score, like the plus minus may not show. Trey Lyles, I mean, he did a little bit of everything today, but when I think of Trey, like, he's still not back. Like, he's not the Trey Lyles that we saw 2 years ago. I think he's going to take some time for him to really get to that moment, to that place in time as a player, but he was okay. He's probably, I'm mad at everybody. Who's probably the worst player tonight. Malik Monk, 29 minutes today, 9 points. He had 6 assists. He was dropping dimes, 4 rebounds, impacting the game in a different way, right? He was a plus 4 for the game. You got to love that as well. Malik Monk bringing that 6th man of the year impact on a daily basis, on a nightly basis, right? That's what he does. And then that's pretty much it. So they had 3 guys playing the whole game. 3 guys off the bench, sorry. Just a strong night. 123 points. 115 points is way too much for the Hawks, who were undermanned today. But one guy that continues to kill the Kings is Matthews, right? He had 7 of 13 from beyond the arc. That's crazy. 23 points off that bench. That's what kept him alive. He did an excellent job today. He's just a little Kings killer, man. Like, that's just what he does, right? I like what Roddy brought off the bench in terms of toughness. He was 2 of 6. Okongwu, I like what I saw from him as well. He only had 1 block, but he impacted other shots as well. 11 points, 4 rebounds. Again, Trae Young already went over him. Capella, statistically, he had a solid game, 15 and 10. But in terms of impact, He's not what he used to be, but he'd be a nice backup for a guy like Sabonis. I'll just say that. I'll put that out there. Johnson for 14 points, 9 assists. That was pretty impressive by him. I really liked him coming out of Duke. Um, you know, Larry Nance at 8 minutes. He's a ceremonial starter, right? I didn't see much from him. And then Rashard, number 10, I think he's the number 1 pick, right? Uh, I mean, I didn't see much from him in 20 minutes. He was pretty bad. He was a minus 25 for the game. I didn't even think of him at all. But yeah, um, again, the Kings at lapses. Let's get into it right away, right? Let me see. Let's get into it. Let me see. If y'all want to call in, the link is on Instagram, but I'll put it down here as well. There's a link if you do want to call in. Needed 12 from Kavon. Trey needs to stop looking down before he shoots the ball. He always misses when he does, at least this year. DeRozan's coming from DeRozan, so nice. What's up, Derek? Yeah, I mean, let's go here. No, let's go here. Okay. So if y'all want to call in, you can. Let's see. I mean, the first play of the game was just crazy. Like, you just saw beautiful ball movement. Kings were really locked in when they came into this game and just kind of let go of the gas pedal, right? Yeah, there's the number 1 pick right there. I mean, he had one good shot. That was it. Like, that was literally it. So right away, you see the good spacing from the Kings. You see a lot of weak side action right here. Let's get into it. You obviously you have to put the ball in De'Aaron's hands, especially when you got a mismatch like a Trae Young. I just don't understand how you go away from that. I mean, the Kings are really good at it, right? They try to hunt him all day. Like, I was tweeting this out. It's so hard to hide a guy like him, but I felt like at times the Hawks did a good job with that today. But man, he's such a liability defensively. It truly is crazy. Like, there's just no way that you can win with a guy like Trae Young. I just don't see it, y'all. I don't see it because he's just way too small and he's not physical defensively. You see what's going on here, right? It's an easy drive. Literally no pressure whatsoever, no resistance whatsoever. He touches the paint and he goes up with it. That's way too easy. That's way too easy. This is the action that I'm talking about. So we start the action here. Is it low down screen? Little down screen reject, right? He went for the down screen. He rejected it. He cut there. And then you get that secondary action, right? Which is a secondary screen here. I mean, the ball could have came here, but it was a phenomenal read by Sabonis. Just a bullet pass into the paint. Just amazing basketball. Like, how do you not appreciate all this action going on? Like, that is truly impressive. It's so fun to watch the Kings play. Like, it really is. Didn't watch the game, but looked at the scoreboard and heard it had 2 of 8, 3 points. Not gonna cut it. Yeah, I mean, this was one of the games where, again, I'm very critical of Kevin. I don't think he played that bad. Like, I know the box score may say that, but sometimes you got to watch the game. He didn't play that bad. There will be nights where I just call it how it is. Like, I was like, he's awful. Like, he was awful the first night, and he's been good. And today was his second worst game after the opening night. He wasn't terrible today. Like, the box score numbers don't reflect his actual game today. But Keon Ellis played really well. He brought the defensive intensity as he does every single game. And then on top of that, he was able to hit 3-point shots the way you expect someone like him to hit. Tyson texts me, Tyrese is so ass, dude. Is nowhere near a top 15 point guard. Well, I wouldn't say top. I mean, he's definitely top 15 point guard. He's not a top 15 player. No, absolutely not. But Wow. Did the Pelicans win the game? And they won the game. The Pelicans won the game. That was an easy read for me. And my stupid ass didn't bet them straight. I put them into a parlay I don't even want to talk about. I was so sharp today. I mean, got the Pelicans right, got the Nets right, got the Knicks right, got the Lakers right, but not really because they didn't cover the spread. So there's just a bum organization. Sorry as Lakers. The Kings got the spread right. It's discouraging when you get all these games right and then the team doesn't cover the spread like that, which is a sorry as Lakers. So I'm not surprised though, because the Lakers are trash. Um, but it is what it is, right? It happens. It happens. I was right on the Pelicans tonight. I took them to +6, but I figured they would win the game. I just sometimes I just didn't like the matchup for the Pacers. I don't think they matched up well. Though they got off to a great start, then they led by double digits throughout the game, and then Zion and then boys, Brandon Ingram. I thought Jordan had a good game as well, shooting that shot, but they won the game. Let me see. Tyrese, what did Tyrese have? Tyrese had 11 points, 11 assists, 1 of 6 from 3, 2 of 8 field goal. Yeah. Not a great game. Not a great game. The only guy who played bad was Trey Lyles, right? Lakers are trash for real. Facts. Let's continue with this though. Cause yeah, that was beautiful. Bullet pass after bonus. Just great action, just overall. Um, right. The Kings in transition. Bang bang. I mean, the Kings are just deadly offensively, right? Like they can score against anybody. Um, here we go. I thought actually going back to it, I thought they did a good job all night of the game plan was to get the ball out of Trey's hands, and they really committed to the double team, to the hard hedge there. Uh, I loved it because I don't really trust anybody on the team to shoot the ball except for Matthews, and Matthews had a great night. But I mean, look at that. Like, obviously, a breakdown defensively there, but the overall game plan of trying to get the ball out of Trey's hands was the right move, in my opinion. And they got the dub, right? Um, let's see. Here we go. I mean, this play right here is just like the epitome of what the Kings are now. Just a three-headed monster. Like, what do you do if you're a defense? There's a huge mismatch here with Trey Young, Cardi, Debo. He sees the double coming. Obviously, they're not fast enough in rotation. It's an easy swing to the corner. And if Keon has the confidence to do this, he's going to play a lot of minutes like he did tonight. Just excellent, excellent Kings basketball there. Just an added dimension having Sabonis, right? Great pass. Bang. I mean, that is a monster dunk. Good look ahead. The ball has more energy than any player that dribbles a basketball. The ball is energy. It moves faster than the player dribbling a basketball. Make sure you always look ahead. Young point guards, young players in general, and pass the damn ball up ahead to someone that's ahead of the field. Always. Always. I thought number 2 Wallace was pretty solid tonight. He brought the energy off the bench, right? But this kid right here, Matt. I mean, nice little pistol action here. He's solid. I mean, that was good, right? Bang bang. I thought this kid brought toughness for the Hawks. I wish I would have watched what's his name play. The kid from the Pelicans that got traded to the Hawks because he was on the bench with the green eyes. I was looking forward to watching him play because he be giving Fox some fits sometimes defensively because he's just really good, right? And again, you're gonna hear my son throughout the night saying I love Daddy and I want Daddy. Again, overplaying there by the Kings, right? Like there really is no reason why you should overreact like this. Like for what? On a guy that's tough defensively, but you want him shooting that basketball. Like, what are you doing, right? And now Fox, you have to do this because he's a phenomenal shooter. So now Trey has to know better. Everyone's in bad rotations. Like, they gotta clean this up, bro. Like, they just gotta clean that up. Yeah, like number 2 had a good game. Again, committing to the double. Okay, good job. Ball's out of his hands. I mean, this is all night though. Like, their rotations were not good enough today. They just were not, right? Nice little pick and pop. Back into DHO action with Debo. Going downhill. Just good, simple basketball for the Kings. That's just excellent there. That is excellent there. Indiana isn't looking too good. Pascal's overpriced, and can't they not keep Miles after this year? They don't have enough cap. I think that's correct. You think we take a leap of Miles from free agency next year? Probably not. Probably not, because they're not going to have the money either. Hilarious. Can barely beat a team missing half its roster. Congrats, Lakers and Warriors are miles better right now, and it's not even close. They beat a Sac State intramural team, David, and Toronto Raptors, who's missing most of the team and their superstar player and Scotty Barnes. Like, did you not watch that? They gave up a lead. I think it's hysterical that you brought that up, and then the Lakers were the one team who did not cover the spread today, and the Kings did. But again, I'm sort of used to you just saying a bunch of nonsense. You were the same person who said, hey, if they beat the Hawks, that's a good test for them. And they beat the Hawks, and he still got some negative to say. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because the Kings are superior, and so much better than both the Lakers and the Warriors. Like, that's not even the question. But again, it's hard to explain basketball to a person who doesn't understand basketball. It's truly hard. It's like run into the same wall that you just can't get over, right? Great pass there by Debo. Great offensive rebound, and he does what he does here. The mid-range maestro, it's just automatic. It's a free throw to him. Like, what do you do? What do you do if you're a defense? Again, that's just a crazy-ass shot. But their defense got to get better. Like, Malik, again, just a great hustle play, but you always got to put a body on somebody. Like, if someone's going to crash, like if you're going to let somebody crash like that, right? Obviously, you don't want DeMar like taking that hit there, but it's just bad timing by the Kings there, and just a great follow-up dunk there. Great dunk there by Johnson. Again, nice little pick and roll action here with DeMar, right? Which leads into a DHO there with Keon and with Kevin. You saw a lot of interchangeable pieces tonight where I thought Mike was kind of experimenting here, playing essentially 4 guards, right? And that's a good drive. Like, they got Kevin going downhill. That's what I'm saying. Like, Kevin had a struggling shooting night, but I felt like his impact was solid today. I don't think it was an awful game. Again, feed the post. Sabonis scans the whole floor. Obviously, Malik is like, Debo's open. It's an easy 3, easy skip pass. I love the fact that he's taking the 3-point shot this year. He's been excellent from beyond the arc. Shout out to Debo for sure. Again, don't matter if Capella or Okongwu was trying to guard Sabonis. It's just a mismatch. Like, this is just crazy. It's just a man amongst boys. My goodness. Like, Sabonis is being extremely aggressive. You got to love that. That's going to take the Kings to the next level, is his pure aggression. towards wanting to score the basketball. That is what you want from your star center. Kings are way better than the Lakers and the Warriors. Yeah, without question. It's not even a question. I've been watching a lot of Memphis games. Edie and Ja has been playing out of his mind. I think the Grizzlies are just extremely overrated, bro. Like, I've been watching that game, like them play. They lost the other night when they were like 12-point favorites. Like, they just dropped. They were up by a lot. I think it was it against the Nets? I forget. But they haven't been impressive at all to me. And obviously they have some injuries, but at the same time, like, I would say most good teams have to find ways next man up mentality to really step up, right? I haven't been. I coming into the year, I thought Memphis would be a lot better, but I haven't been that impressed. Like, they still have time to impress me and get to the level where I think they should be. Like the Grizzlies again, I think they will be there if they can find some consistency with injuries, because Ja is really good. But I haven't been as impressed the way I thought I would going into the season, if that makes sense. I agree with you, but Ja has been playing. Yeah, Ja's amazing. I mean, like I said, like Ja's really good. That's why I think they can get there. But will they? He's just so reckless too. Like he be trying to dunk every single time. But he is pretty fun to watch though. I don't think he's better than De'Aaron, but he's pretty fun to watch. De'Aaron had that alley-oop dunk today. Like, it's funny because like he has extreme hops. Like, he's a freak. De'Aaron's a freak, but he chooses when to use that and like when to make an explanation point for sure. Here we see Debo send up the offense, right? Like, you legitimately have three guys who can create for everybody else, and Debo, Fox, and Malik Monk, and obviously your key hog of your offense, right? Your center who can also do that. Like, the Kings are just so dangerous, bro. And then obviously Keegan is going to keep improving, and he's impacting the game in so many different ways right now. It's truly amazing to watch. So you set the screen, this high hammer screen up here for Debo. He rejects it to go left, which you always want to get him going right, and obviously teams know that. But it's not like he can't go left, because he can, right? And ultimately, I mean that was a foul, but DeMar is very good at coming back to his right, and he did that all game. But this is the one time when they didn't call the foul, and it led to transition, and it led to Trae Young doing what Trae Young does, which is, shoot the long ball like that, for sure. Here we see Trae Young trying to play some defense, probably the best defense of the night, obviously, because he's not very good at it. And then De'Aaron Fox doing what De'Aaron Fox does. And one. No call, though. He gets no love whatsoever. De'Aaron's pretty special. De'Aaron's pretty special. Great pass, De'Aaron. That's just, again, Sabonis is just a monster. He's a monster. Stop it already. Let's skip to this. The Kings are up 86. Let me see. The Kings are up 86 to 70 this point, right? Like, Debo, I mean, that's crazy, bro. Like, what do you do if you're the opposing team? Like, you're going to see all of this because you have to give Sabonis the respect here in the slip, and then DeMar is going to just use that gravity to come back for the midi. Like, this is what I was talking about 2 years ago and last year, why he was such an easy replacement for HB, and why, even though he technically can't shoot the three at a high level, that his mid-range game with Sabonis in the pick and roll would be amazing. Like, there's documentation of all this stuff. Like, me telling you this would literally happen. And I'm glad that Mike Brown and that coaching staff are maximizing what this offense is going to be and what this offense is now right now. What this offense is currently, because it's really damn good. Yeah, I mean, the Kings had a sizable lead all night long, and then you just get comfortable and you lose focusness, and refs try to keep games close. Let's be honest. There was some ticky-tacky calls that could have gone the other way. They didn't, and great pass. I mean, it's things like this with Kevin where I'm like, again, rough shooting night, but still doing other things to impact the game. I think he had 4 assists. Let's see. Uh, at this point, it's a 10-point game, right? Fox, this is the one where like you cannot tell me he's not a freak. Like he jumped off a trampoline. Like that kid is good, bro. Oh, Dier is laughing, bro. Like he knows it too. It's like, bro, like he don't get the respect he deserves, but it's all good. It's gonna come with more W's for sure. It's crazy, bro. Edie has been underperforming on the offensive end, and defensively, he hasn't been looking good. He's like most big men, right? Who are just that ginormous and giant. Like, he's gonna be slow-footed for the most part. Yeah, like the fact that he's struggling offensively is one thing. You should expect him to be better on that end, but defensively, it's so easy to run those guys off the floor in the playoffs because you can really expose all the weaknesses in every single player, especially in a 7-game series. And he's one of those guys that I don't think will ever be a playoff performer because if guys like Brook Lopez or guys like Rudy Gobert, who are excellent defensively in the playoffs, it's just a whole different story, bro. So that's why I wouldn't draft a guy like that who isn't an elite player offensively. Like if he's elite and he's showing all the signs, like for example, Alperen Şengün coming out the draft, like he was the best player in his league at 18 years old. And I told you guys, like, this kid is special. I understood that he was a little bit shorter on like the big man side, but his skills were undeniably there, especially at that age. The feel for his game was so crazy, and I kept talking about that. And now he's a star. Like, and he got underpaid, honestly. Like with that contract, Houston got a great deal with him. He's just a special player, and I didn't see that with the guy like big man from the Grizzlies. But if you're not dominant offensively, like there's just no way I'm taking you top 10, top 15, top 20. There's just no way. It's just a wing league, bro. Like you just got to take defensive wings or 3-and-D potential type guys like with athleticism. Like that's how you draft guards. Like, but bigs who aren't dominant offensively and are projected to not be very good in open space defensively, that's kind of tough for me to like be like, oh, I'm gonna draft this guy in the top 15 or in the lottery. Like, I can't do it. That's more of a philosophy thing for me though. Do you think Fox make the first team and meets his extension goals? Also, with DeRozan on the team, do you think Fox makes the All-Star this year? It just depends on what the record's going to be, right? Like, someone's making the All-Star game this year for the Kings. More than likely, they'll have 2 guys in the All-Star game. You would like all 3 to make it, but the reality is Sac is too small of a market, and if they're not the number 1 team or the number 1 seed going into the break, it's going to be hard to get all 3, but I would bet that De'Aaron makes it this year. I have no question about it. It's probably going to be De'Aaron and Sabonis, and then, DeMar's going to get snubbed. Like, it's going to be one of those things. But again, like, it's so hard to – there's so many good players, bro. Like, it's hard because there's always 3-4 guys that don't make the cut that are deserving of the All-Star game. So – it's a ceremonial type of thing. It's obviously important for them from a contractual standpoint, but there's always 3-4 guys that are clear all-stars and they don't get to make the cut because there isn't enough roster spots, honestly. And the game is a complete joke, but I understand it from a fan's perspective. Like, you want your guy to be in the All-Star game. I understand from the player's perspective, you want to get the All-Star now because you get more money when it comes to contract negotiations and you meet certain things, right? I understand those things. So that's where I'm at with the 3-headed monster making an All-Star, because you have to figure if the Lakers stay healthy, those are 2 spots that are locked up in AD and LeBron. Like, that's no question, nothing. Like, those guys are going to get all the votes. Big market in LA. KD and Booker are going to get the votes, no question about it. Especially if they stay healthy. That's already 4 spots right there. Luckily this year, you don't have Paul George and Kawhi, which is going to help De'Aaron make it. So De'Aaron will make it, and Sabonis will probably. So So okay, so that's 4, right? Not counting the Clippers no more. So we don't gotta worry about PG or Kawhi because James Harden's not gonna make it, especially with all these guards like Luka, who's gonna make it guaranteed. Guaranteed Shea, guaranteed. So that's already 6 spots, right? So you got 2 Lakers, 2 Suns, Shea and Luka. That's 6. Those are 6 spots, no question about it. Like, no question about it. So then you got to start thinking about everybody else, right? And obviously Anthony Edwards is going to be the and it's going to be another guy. That's 7, like based on popularity, where everything's at. Like he's for sure going to be there. That's 7. Okay. Those are 7 locks. Like no matter what you. Sorry, that's on me. Depending if Steph is healthy or not, obviously, Steph's gonna get voted in regardless. Like that's just the way it is. Like Steph's gonna get voted, so that's 8. Those are 8 spots. And if the Warriors are halfway decent, he's gonna get the nod. Last year, De'Aaron Fox was better than Steph Curry going into the break. He still did not get the nod. Like it's just crazy. Like Karl Anthony Towns got the nod because they had the #1 seed going into it. Like. Just crazy, but that's just the way it works sometimes. So, and it's for sure 7. So don't count Steph. You still got 7 dudes right there. I think Fox is more concerned about making the All NBA team, which should be everybody's concern because that's much more important than being an All-Star. But obviously, you would think that if you make an All NBA team, you made the All-Star team. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. It's just crazy. But yeah, I think that's where I'm at with De'Aaron and this contract. Like, if too many people put too much stock into what he said, like, obviously, as a player, you have to maximize and try to make as much money as possible. I don't blame him at all for that, if I'm being honest. Like, I would do the same if I was in this position. Like, you have to. This is a business. Like, they can trade him at any point and not give a damn. Like, it's a ruthless league, y'all. Like, I don't put too much stock into stuff like that before a season. Like, yeah, I want to try to maximize how much money I make, period. The Thunder are up 44-30 in the second quarter. At the half, we got the Nuggets and the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves are up by 3. Very interesting game. I mean, these are 2 teams that got a lot to prove. The Nuggets got no shooting, and I think the Timberwolves lack guys who can create. Because when you lose a guy who creates so much space and is so gifted offensively in Cat, and you get a guy like Julius who is tough but nowhere near the level offensively, it makes it tough, especially on guys like Anthony Edwards, right? He is our sole creator. Rudy Gobert is to Rudy Gobert, right? Defensively, he's great, but in the regular season, but offensively, he's absolute hot garbage. It's going to be interesting to see how they win games. Obviously, McDaniels with less spacing, right? With no Cat in the frame. That puts a lot of pressure on him to do things he's not accustomed to or he's not comfortable doing. He's excellent defensively, but without Cat, like, it makes life very difficult on McDaniels. Same with Aaron Gordon. If you take out KCP, he's going to struggle. Like, right now, he's killing it. He got 19 points, 2 boards, a rebound. He's 7-9, 2 or 3, but that's not what he does, and that's not what he's gonna do all year. Like they're bound to break out with a game like this, shooting wise. But without KCP and true shooting around him, Aaron Gordon is not as impactful. He's a phenomenal basketball player. He does so many impactful things on the court, but damn, with not that much spacing, it's gonna put a lot of pressure on a guy like Joker. Joker got 9 points right now. Braun started. He started tonight, or has he been starting? Has he been starting all year season long? I forget. Obviously Russell got 8 minutes, 0-5 from the field. Jesus. Yeah, that's a whole different story. But I think we covered a lot today, y'all. Now the Kings are gonna play the Raptors tomorrow night. Make sure you guys. What's tomorrow? Saturday? Probably not. I don't know if I'm gonna go live. It's hard. Like I said, I got my son crying in the background. It's hard to do as many lives as I used to do, but it is what it is, yo. I appreciate the support. Again, not streaming for 7 months makes it tough on the algorithm to really notify people, but y'all know y'all know what you get with me. Like you're gonna get a film session, like you're gonna get, like you're going to get authenticity all the time from me. It's just the way it is. Like, I call it how it is. There's nothing to hide from. Like, that's who I am. Like, and the people who appreciate that are gonna follow and watch. And y'all know y'all can always hit me up on Instagram, because that's where I'm the most active on. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be trying to be more consistent on YouTube and try to provide coverage and all those things. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. And on behalf of the entire CK family, Basketball Zone family, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.